Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another awesome session. I am super pumped to get into this one, which is going to be a little bit on the longer side, but I think this will be very helpful to you. I know it will be, because what we're going to be talking about right now in this session here is going to be the major keys to operating a successful business. Having a business is one thing. Right, anyone can start a business, and whether that's a freelancing career or you're going to start an actual brick and mortar business, you could be a baker, a chiropractor, own a restaurant. It really doesn't matter what the business is, but no matter what type of business you have, it should be your goal to be successful in that business, right? No one wants to create a business and be average. Our goal is to be successful in everything we do. We want to get more stuff done. And again, this is not just like a catchphrase. It's literally how we operate our lives. We want to make sure that no matter what we're doing, we are putting forth as much effort as possible to be successful, right? We want to just not be a business owner. We want to be a successful business owner. We want to inspire people around us. We want to take care of our employees and our team members and make sure that they are successful as well. So in order to do that, there's a couple very important keys. The major keys to being successful in business and getting more stuff done is really the crux of what we're going to be talking about here in this conversation. And again, this is probably more of a serious deep dive into what it actually takes to be successful in business, right? This is not just, let me give you a couple quick tips to be more productive on a Monday morning. This is going to be a little bit more intense, a little bit more in depth. We're going to be a little bit more serious about this because this is very serious. This is your future. This is your family's future. This is something that you need to take very seriously. We can still have fun when we have a business, but at the end of the day, we need to understand what we're doing. And again, doesn't matter what your business is. Doesn't even matter if it's just you and you're freelancing as a side hustle and you have a 9-to-5. You need to put forth consistent effort and focus on quality in everything you do. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I want you to think about that a little bit longer. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So let's look back at our example that I just said just now of someone who's working a 9-to-5 and has a little side hustle on the side. If you don't pay attention at your job, if you don't give 100%, chances are pretty strong when you're working on your side hustle later that day, you're going to continue not giving 100% because you spent your whole day doing it. You spent your whole day half caring about your 9-to-5 job because it's not serving you, you don't enjoy it. And now when it comes time for your side hustle, or it comes time for your family, or it comes time for anything else, you're going to put forth that same level of effort because that's how you treat everything in your life. And that's not going to get you where you want to go. So even if right now, in this scenario, you are not yet where you want to be, you're not operating full time at the business of your dreams, you're still stuck working for someone else, or you're in a growth phase where you have to really kind of be a little bit more strategic with the things that you do. You need to be keeping in mind how you do one thing is how you do everything. So it doesn't matter whether you enjoy the job you have or not. Put forth 100% effort into that job. A couple things are going to happen. One, a proper boss is going to recognize the fact that you are putting forth a lot of effort, and they're going to reward you in some way, shape, or form, either with a different position at that company, maybe a little bit more pay, some more freedoms. Maybe that helps you advance yourself, get a little bit more money together so you can go do another thing. Whatever the case may be, putting forth that 100% effort, if nothing else, is going to allow you to be 100% consistent with the level of effort you expect in other places in your life. Again, if you want to achieve actual success, you want to get financial freedom, freedom of time, freedom of location, the way that you're going to do that is to be consistent with the quality that you put forth in every area of your life. And we'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later on because that relates to a couple of other areas. But I'm going to switch real quick to iPad view here because I want to write down a couple notes. So, the number one thing that we're going to look at here consistency. You want to make sure that how you do one thing is how you do everything. And you want to make sure that you're doing 100% effort no matter where you are. Let's jump into number 2. Number 2 is going to be to visualize the goal. And what I mean by that is you need to be super clear with yourself. It really doesn't matter to anybody else. With yourself. What your goal looks like. If your goal is to run a successful business, I had this conversation with someone the other day. Their goal was to grow their business to a point where they can do X, Y, and Z in their life. So as part of the conversation, we said, if you want to get to that point, right, you want to achieve this goal, what is your life going to look like when you're at that goal? What time are you going to wake up? What are you going to eat for breakfast? What clothes are you going to wear? What music are you going to be listening to? Where is your work going to be? Are you going to work from home? Are you going to work from an office? What does that work look like? If you're going to work in an office, I want you to picture yourself walking out of the house, opening the door of the car. What type of car is it? What color is the car? What color are the seats? Sit down in the seats. Close your eyes and smell what the car smells like. Picture yourself driving to the office. And I know that this seems intense, but again, this is a serious conversation. You're looking for success. Success is not going to come to you if you're not giving 100% effort into what you're doing and you're just being silly about trying to achieve it. You have to be diligent, you have to be dedicated, and you have to be focused on getting that success. You have to be obsessed with achieving that level of success. And you can do it. 100% I have no doubt that you can achieve that success. But you need to follow these things. I've been down this road a number of times. I've learned from people. I've had mentors. I've had coaches. I've gone through this, and I will continue to learn. But the things that we're talking about here are going to help you become successful. So just work with me on this. Visualize your goal. Picture what your life looks like once you've achieved that. Picture all the things in your life that are going to be about that goal. How things look, how things feel, how things smell. You need to visualize that and get a clear vision of what that looks like. And it's important that you repeat that vision at least once a week. Take a couple minutes, ideally in the start of your day. Think about what your life and your business and your family's life looks like once you've achieved that goal. Once you have that vision, now you can understand the things that you might need to change in your life to get there. What's going to need to change to get to where you want to go? Stop and take a look at what's in your life now. Are your clothes different? Do you listen to different music? Do you wake up a different time? Start changing the little things in your life that are going to start to align with the vision of that goal. Next important part, number 3. You need a deadline. Deadlines make things real. When you don't have a deadline, there's no pressure. There's no force that's requiring you to get to a certain point at a certain time. Right? You could have visualized your goal as you're going to be operating a successful business in the future. Is it a year from now? Is it 2 years? Is it 10 years? Without a deadline, there is no way that you can set a proper course of action to achieve that goal, because it's just sometime in the future, right? You haven't really made it real. You have to set a deadline and say, by this date, these are the things that I'm going to achieve. This is what my life is going to look like by this date. Critically important. Next, once you have that deadline, you are going to start creating an action plan. Your action plan is going to be the steps that you're going to take to get your goal accomplished by that deadline. And here's why this is important. Let's say you want to get in the car and you want to drive somewhere to a friend's house, but you don't know where they live. There's no deadline. There's no actual hard set idea of where that is in time. You have no idea how to get there. You can't plug in an address in the GPS if you don't know what the address is. If you haven't fully visualized your goal, you don't know what their house looks like. You don't know what their address is, what street they live on. You've got no idea. But once you've armed yourself by visualizing your goal, setting a deadline, you can create this action plan, which is going to be the turn-by-turn directions that you're going to need to follow to get to your goal by the deadline. Because now you know what the goal looks like and when you need to get there. So you can figure out step by step by step what things you need to do in what order to actually make that happen. And you can keep it simple for now. Big picture items. What are the things that you need to accomplish by what dates in order to make your goal a reality? Then take those items and break them down. Here's how that works. Let's say your vision is you want to get from here to here. There's your goal. You could just make that one big step from here to there. That'd be great. But it's really hard for people to figure out all the necessary steps in one leap. Not super easy. Next thing, a little bit more easy for people, figure out, all right, I need to do one item, and then 2 items, and then 3 items, and then 4. And that's going to get me to my goal. Okay, fine. You figured out the 4 big bucket items that you need to accomplish. Now take each one of those and break them down a little smaller. Take this one and break it down into 4 smaller steps. Then take this little individual step and break it down into 4 even smaller steps. And what you're accomplishing at this point is you're making it very detailed, but still very simple. You are now taking down your action plan and making it so you've got these tiny little action items. Set them into your daily, put them in your calendar. Make them almost difficult not to do. Make them simple. Break them down as many times as you can. If you can, break them down even more. Break those things down as much as humanly possible so that you physically can't fail. Now you've created your action plan. The important part here is figuring out step by step by step by step what you need to do to get to your goal by that deadline. And you 100% can achieve that. Now, the next thing you need to do. Start small. Because a lot of people are going to get this feeling that you've got this gigantic goal you want to achieve. You want to climb this mountain. How are you going to do it? You're going to do it step by step by step. You cannot climb a mountain in one big step. It's not physically possible. You need to be focusing on taking small steps. Small steps. And I understand you want to achieve it right now. In this day, in 2021, everyone wants Amazon Prime. You want it delivered tomorrow. You want to be able to get whatever you want instantly. You want that magic pill, that surgery, that whatever it is that's going to fix whatever problem you have today. You want it instant. But that's not the way this is going to work if you want to build a long-term successful business. You need to be willing to start small and follow your action plan and make 1% progress toward the bigger picture, your actual goal, and be consistent with that action. You have to be willing to start small and just take consistent steps forward. Build a reputation, build a habit, build a pattern. Start stacking those wins. Once you can get these wins, get these 4 really small little things, accomplish them. That makes it much easier for you to do the next one. Once you've accomplished the next one, that makes it easier for you to do the next one. Now, you've finished this 4th item, you've finished this real big thing. And you're going to keep repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating, and the next thing you know, you've accomplished 25% of your entire goal by taking small steps forward every day. Consistent progress, consistent effort. Again, consistency. You want to be taking consistent steps forward toward your goal every day and be consistent with it. You have to understand what your goal looks like, when you're going to achieve it, how you're going to get there, and focus on taking small steps forward. Not going to happen overnight. There is no such thing as an overnight success story. Almost every overnight success you've ever heard of, that person has been working for years, quietly, but no one ever paid any attention because they couldn't see the end result. They couldn't see what that person saw in their head, what that person was visualizing the whole time. Everyone else thought that they were crazy. But it's not until they actually achieve that thing where everyone else says, oh, hey, maybe that person was right. And they only start paying attention a couple days before. So that's why it feels like an overnight success story, because no one was paying attention for the years beforehand when that person was consistently putting in the work, consistently putting in effort every day toward that goal. All these little steps down here, these items, no one's paying attention to. Once you get up here and you've got at least 50% of your goal done, some people are going to start to pay attention. Once you get like right here on this, 95%, most people will start paying attention that maybe you weren't crazy. That's when you're going to start to get people who actually say, oh yeah, maybe he was right. This whole other part down here, that's all on you. You got to be so steadfast in your vision. You have to really know what this looks like, where you can just at any point in time close your eyes and visualize what your goal feels like and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it to the point where it becomes almost like a memory to you, right? It's a memory of the future. It hasn't happened yet, but it's so consistent in your head and you can picture exactly what it's going to be like because you've been so consistent with visualizing it and dedicating yourself to actually making it happen. Now here's the next part. This one's going to be important as well. These are all important. That's why they're all major keys. You want to build a team. You cannot do this alone. I know that a lot of people are going to try because you feel like people might not believe in you. You might think your vision is crazy, but you need a team. You need people around you to support you. You need people around you to help get stuff done. And that could be either employees, it could be other freelancers, it could be whoever. But you need a team around you to help push forward. The saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. When you are able to work as a team, bring other people into your vision. You want people on your team who understand what the goal is. They're going to help push. They're going to help push toward the goal. They're going to help push you on days that you don't feel like doing it. They're going to help you take that vision and make it a reality because it becomes their vision as well. But the important part is making sure that you build a team around you of people who are dedicated toward the bigger picture and the goal. You can't have people around you that are selfish, people that do not believe in the end goal. Having those people in your life is going to make your goal take longer because they're going to be detracting. They're going to be adding problems to your day. You need people on your team who understand the vision, understand the sacrifice, understand the timeline, and are willing to put in the work to get to that end goal. I'm going to call this one 6A because this one is pretty much, it's similar, but equally important. You need to make sure that everyone on your team is on the same page. This includes not just the people who are, on your actual team, again, your employees, your freelancers, whoever, but this is going to be the people in your life, your family, your friends. You need everyone on the same page. And you also need to understand in this point, there are going to be people who are your family, who are your friends, who do not see the bigger picture, who are going to say, this crazy goal is crazy. And you need to understand the reason why. A lot of the people that you grow up with, your friends, your family, they don't want you to succeed. When you succeed, it makes them look bad because you both started from the same place. You both started from here. But if you end up here and they end up here, you look so much better than they do. But if they can keep you here with them, they're going to try and pull you back this way because they want to keep you here with them. Then they can fail all they want because you failed too. And it doesn't make them look bad because that guy that I went to school with, he wound up failing too. So it's not just me. Most people are selfish. The people that you grew up with, your friends, your family, it's unfortunate. I understand. But a lot of them don't want you to succeed because when you succeed, it makes them look bad for not succeeding as well. This is why, in a lot of cases, the people who you pick up later in life, friends you meet on the internet, people you meet in the Legiit group, people like that who don't have the 10, 15 years of history growing up with you as a kid and seeing who you were when you were in school. Those people want you to succeed because it's not a reflection on them if you fail. They'd rather see you succeed because they want to be surrounded by winners. So I say all that to say, you need to make sure that you've got everyone on the same page. And a lot of these people that you went to school with, that are family members, they're probably not going to be on the same page because they don't want to look bad when you succeed, and you are going to succeed. So for right now, I'm not saying that you need to call these people up and tell them, hey, we're done, we're never going to talk again. But you need to be intentional with where you spend your time and your focus. And if those people, your school friends, your family, do not celebrate and endorse your goal and believe in the bigger picture, For right now, you need to cut off communication there, set them to the side, focus on you. Those people are still going to be there because they're not going far, right? They're only going here. They're not going too far. You have to get all the way down here. And if you try and carry them with you the whole time, they're always going to be pulling you right back in because they don't want you to get further ahead than they are. So, again, I say all that to say, get everyone on the same page. And if they're not going to be on the same page, remove them from the process. You don't have to be a jerk. You don't have to be mean. You can still be their friend. But for right now, you have to focus on your goal and the deadline. Those people are not going to help get you there. So if you're spending your Friday, Saturday night talking to those people, going out with those people, all it's doing is pulling you back this way. You need to be focusing on yourself, your goal, the action steps that are going to get you there, and that's it. Right? So you need to make sure that you've got everyone on your team on the same page. Now, the next thing, because this is going to happen and you need to be prepared. You need to celebrate failure. You're going to fail. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. There's going to be times when your steps don't work. Maybe one of these steps doesn't work. Or you try and do something big and you run into a roadblock. It's going to happen. It happens to all of us. The more that you fail, the faster you'll succeed. So you need to understand and develop a proper relationship with failure. And this is probably going to be one of the hardest things for a lot of people to figure out. Again, when you grow up, you're raised to not want to fail. Failing is uncomfortable. You don't like to fail because there's a stigma with it that it's not possible to continue. When you fail, you get an F on a test. You're in trouble. You don't want to get in trouble from your parents. You don't want to fail. You want to do the good thing so someone comes and pats you on the back and says, hey, good job. You did great. Here's a trophy. But that trophy and that pat on the back doesn't get you further. It feels good right now. And that's what we want. Everyone wants that feel good right now, right? But that goes back to our action plan, and that goes back to our deadline. People want it right now. They're not willing to look at the bigger picture. They want what feels good today. So they want to succeed because they want to feel good right now in this moment. And failing now doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to fail. But the thing is, when you fail, it shows you something that didn't work. It could be in your own process, could be in your team, could be your approach, could be a lot of things. And it's important that when you fail, you look at what happened and why. Because that failure is teaching you something about yourself. Either something that you can improve, something you need to learn, it's exposing some hole on your team that you need to fill with another person. Having those failure moments, you need to understand and retrain your brain that it's good to fail. It's important to fail. And when you fail, you need to be happy because you found something that didn't work and you found an area for improvement. If you don't fail, you cannot succeed. You need to get that in your head and understand the relationship you have with failure needs to be a positive one. You need to look at failure as, okay, it sucks, I failed, but what did I learn? What can I do now tomorrow to work smarter to avoid failing again? Look for the lesson in the failure. If you are able to do that, you are going to be able to get so much further ahead than the people who are afraid to fail because they're afraid of that temporary pain. They're afraid to get in trouble. They're afraid to feel like they did something wrong. So they never get too far outside their comfort zone. Which brings us into our next key. Comfort. You need to work on getting uncomfortable. When you get comfortable, you don't push, right? All of us like to be comfortable. We like to have a nice comfortable chair. We like to have nice comfortable clothes. We like to have nice comfortable things because it feels good. But the problem with feeling good and being comfortable is it doesn't push us to do anything great. When you can put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, you are going to have to do something that you've not done before. And reaching this goal, in most cases, is going to be someplace further away. Again, you're here, you want to go here. This is your goal. If you want to get to this goal, you need to be willing to do things in this area here that you've never done before. This is all discomfort. So you need to be excited. You need to be happy when you're doing something that's uncomfortable. Because all of this area in here is all uncomfortable. So again, this is the similar idea to here, celebrating failure, that you need to be looking at being uncomfortable, doing things that you are not comfortable with, as a good thing. It's how you're going to get from here all the way over here by doing uncomfortable things. And if you're not doing uncomfortable things, if you're sitting in a spot where you're comfortable, you wake up whenever you wake up, you do your work, no one yells at you, you go to bed. Nothing significant happened. You're not pushing hard enough to your goal to get something done. You need to be okay with being uncomfortable. Now, next. Reps. Reps is the idea that you need to be putting in repetitions, practicing over and over and over again. This is how you're going to succeed. You are going to learn and you're going to develop the habits that are going to bring you towards success. But the only way to develop those habits is to practice them and develop them. That's how that works. If you've ever watched maybe a basketball game and you see someone who's able to shoot the basketball and get it right in the hoop, and it's almost easy for them, it's because they've practiced that shot. They've practiced shooting the basketball thousands of times. So for them, their muscles, they know exactly what to do. They don't even have to think. Their muscles just know instinctively what to do, how to shoot the ball for it to go from where they are into the basket. It's the same thing for you in your life. Here's another example. You want to breathe. Breathing is pretty important. It's how we live. If you didn't breathe, you'd be dead. You do not need to tell yourself, okay, lung, inhale oxygen. Lung, exhale oxygen. Muscle, move this thing in my body to make my lung move. You don't need to tell yourself how to breathe. Your body does it automatically. Because your body has been doing it for a long time. It's how you were raised for thousands of years. You've instinctively grown up doing this. Same thing with walking. You don't need to tell your legs, okay, right leg, lift up. Right leg, move forward. Right leg, go down. You don't need to think in your head about how to walk because you've been doing it for so many years. You've put in enough repetitions as a child that now you can just walk without having to think about it. This is the same thing you need to be doing in your business. You need to understand that you need to put in reps, repetitions, practice. Keep doing the things that you need to do to get better. If you want to be a great salesperson, you need to be practicing doing sales. If you want to be a great live stream person and you want to be having live streams and get people in and generate some leads, you need to put in the reps. You're not just going to be able to sit down in front of a camera and be great. This is not how it works. You need to fail first. Your first attempts are going to be bad. That's this part, failure. That's this part, being uncomfortable. This part is doing this and this a lot of times until you no longer fail. And then you get comfortable doing it. So then you need to push yourself further to get uncomfortable again and grow and do something better. Then do that over and over and over again. And that is how you build the reps and you start building the muscle memory to be able to achieve what you want in your business. You want to be a great salesperson? Go have 5,000 sales calls. You'll be a great salesperson at the end of it. The first 100 are going to be painful. People are going to hang up on you. People are going to yell at you. People are going to laugh at you. But again, celebrate failure and get uncomfortable. Then put in the reps and keep going. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get better. And that's how you grow a business, by getting better at things that are important to your business. Next, you need some level of mentor or coach. There is no one who wins at a high level consistency that does not have some level of mentor or coach. Think about any great athlete you've ever seen. Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods. I don't know, pick another great athlete. I don't watch a lot of sports. All of those guys have their own coaches. It's someone who has either been there before and knows how to do it, who is a mentor, or someone who understands the physics of what you're trying to do, who understands the moving pieces of what you're trying to do, and can help give you the direction you need to take, who can help develop an action plan to get that stuff done. That's a coach. You either need a mentor or a coach, or both, in your life. That person is going to do a couple things. One, they're going to help you develop a proper action plan because they've been, hopefully, in most cases, if you get a proper mentor or coach, they've been where you're going. They've been to this goal. Their goal might be a little bit different looking, but they've achieved what you're looking to achieve in your life. That mentor or coach has already achieved the things that you want in your life. Great. Now you can use them to help understand what your action plan looks like, and also these items again, failure and discomfort, because they're going to know all the things that you are going to have to grow through in order to level up your skills and become the version of yourself you need to become to achieve your goals. They're going to hold you accountable to put in those reps, and they're going to help push you forward. That's what a good mentor or coach will do. You don't need one. Let me just be clear. You can still accomplish your goals by yourself without a mentor or coach. Fine. Having a mentor or coach is 300% better for you to achieve those goals. They are going to be able to help push you further and faster to get to where you want to go. You need to be taking advantage of anything that you can to get to your goal. Because if your goal is a worthy enough goal, it's going to be very difficult to get to. That gives me another item. Set large goals. This item really, I guess, technically should be up here. But point being, I just thought of it and I wanted to mention it. Your goals need to be large enough that they're going to motivate you into action. Because if your goal is something that you can achieve next week, it's not a big enough goal. Your goal needs to be so big that it's going to require a completely different version of yourself. Your goal needs to be so big that you're going to sit there sometimes and think, how is it even humanly possible that I'm going to be able to do this? If your goal is not that level of big, you need to get a bigger goal. A big goal is going to force you to take massive action and get stuff done. If not, you're not going to be pushed enough. There's not going to be enough pressure. There's not going to be enough discomfort to push you from where you are to where you need to be. Because if your goal is only right here, you can fall forward and get there. It's not really that big a deal. You need to be making sure that your goal is so big you end up over here somewhere. That's where you need to be. You need to be making sure that your goals are tremendous, that they almost scare you they're that big, because it's just that important. I don't know any other way to say it, but you need to be doing that. Okay, the last thing I have on this list for our major keys. That is your health. I know this one seems like an odd one to go over, but it's really important. If you do not have your health, if you're not physically and mentally in good shape, all of this stuff is going to be exponentially more difficult and pointless. Think about this. Let's say you've developed this huge goal, right? You've set a large goal. You've set a deadline on it. You've made an action plan. You've done all these things. But you get there and you don't have your health. You're unable to walk. You're unable to, you're unhealthy. You're in a bad physical state. You're not going to be able to actually enjoy the fruit of your labor. You're not going to be able to enjoy your goal, right? You're not visualizing yourself as achieving that goal and then becoming ill in the process. You need to focus on your health so that way you can actually enjoy the things that you've built. Let me give you some more information on this. If you focus on your health, you will be working that much more efficiently. I want to talk a little bit more, and I know that this is kind of more a conversation for a different discussion today, but understanding that you need to plan rest is vitally important. There's a mentality, and I know a lot of people will talk about it, that you can just grind and hustle and work nonstop, but it's not a healthy way to go, right? You need to plan properly for consistent effort from X time until X time. But you also need to be planning for your health. Because if you do not, it's going to make things exponentially harder. When you are working 18-hour days, when you're working 7 days a week, you're going to get burnt out, and it's going to make it very difficult for you to adhere to your deadline and your action plan, because you're going to be working at a lesser capacity. You're capable of doing some amazing things, but if you don't take the time to recharge yourself, to take time for yourself, to sit there, rest, visualize your goals, understand your intentions, be intentional about your actions, it's going to make achieving all of this stuff that much more difficult. So I want to just put that on there, because a lot of people prioritize the goal, right? The goal, getting a big successful business and getting $1 million in the bank is the goal. For some reason, that just, it feels better than saying, I want to live a healthy life. But we only have this one here to live. And I promise you this, when you're at the end of it, you're going to wish that you had more health rather than more money. So I know that that's kind of a weird twist to take this conversation, but it's vitally important that you understand that as well. The idea of getting more stuff done is not just so you can grow a bigger business. Getting more stuff done allows you to live a more full life. Growing a big business achieving things is great. And I want to wish you all the success in the world. But I also want to wish you a full life with family and all the things that make it important. Leaving a legacy, leaving an impact for future generations, being able to positively affect the people in your life. That's what living a full life is about. That's what getting more stuff is done. Getting more stuff done is about. It's about freeing up time in your life to be able to do the things that are going to be impactful. Building a big business is cool, right? It's great to be successful. It's great to have some money. It's great to relieve the stress of not having money in the bank. But if you don't have health, and you don't have intentionality, and you don't utilize your success to leave a lasting impact on the people in your life who are going to benefit from it, your local community, your children if you have them, your family, your close friends, leave an impact on those people that's going to be here for generations to come. That's what it means to get more stuff done. Not just be successful in business, be successful in life. Be successful to a point where you can set money aside so that your kids will have money when they go to school. Be a person of impact. Be a person who gets more stuff done, not just in life, not just in business, but also in life, because that's where it matters. That's what I want you guys to focus on, and that's really the major key of business, is having a business that's bigger than just a business. It's not just about selling widgets or performing services. It's about creating an impact in your community. That's what I want you guys to remember at the end of the day. And that's part of having a large goal. This part right here. Not just growing a business that employs a couple people and makes a bunch of money. Impact. And I've gotten off course on this, and this is honestly not even what I intended to talk about. But I felt that it was important, and it was on my heart to share with you. I felt that it was important to have that conversation, because I do believe that this community of people right here, you, right now, have the ability to change the lives of all the people watching this, and all those people's families and their communities, by getting more stuff done in your personal life, in your business, and together in this community, to be able to impact change that's going to change the lives of people for generations to come. That is how you define success. It's not about money. It's not about cars. It's not about houses. It's not about anything like that. It's about knowing at the end of the day, when all the work is done, that you've done everything you can possibly do to impact families, communities, and generations to come. And that right there, that's how we get more stuff done. That's why we get more stuff done. That reason is so vitally important. It has to be the most major of all these keys. Impact. So I want you to think about this right now. What can you do today that's going to impact someone's life in a positive way? Think about it. How can your business impact the people around it? I don't want you to just deliver good services. I don't want you to just have a successful business. I want you to impact people. That's what I want you to do. That's what I want our community to be. People who get more stuff done because we impact the world. That's who Legiit is. That's who you are. And that's why I'm so proud to be a part of this community and to be with you. So again, I know I've gotten a little bit off course from the major keys in business part, but I truly believe that if we can do these things and accomplish that, the business stuff is easy. The impact is important, and that's what we need to focus on. So with that, I'll stop rambling. I truly appreciate your time during this. I know that we've had a kind of a long day so far. We've got some more fun stuff coming up, but this was a enjoyable conversation to have for me. And I am more than happy to talk about ways that we can impact our community more positively. So please do not be shy to reach out. I am happy to talk. And let's get some more stuff done. Let's get some more stuff done together. I appreciate you.